solving morning. So welcome
to the Maine Cancer Crusade and Chicks with
Yep.
Chris and Crystal.
That's right. That's right.
And
Thanks
we
for
have a
joining
guest
in.
speaker.
We do. We have our first guest, and we're excited to have her. Her name is Debbie Violette, and she is a 24-year stage 3 lung cancer survivor. But she also has her own nonprofit, Free Lung Cancer. Is it from Maine? Or from Free Me from Lung Cancer. And it's a nonprofit that, how many years have you had that? I was thinking 10. That's right. We just talked about that. So 10 years, she's been a fierce advocate for research. And I'm proud to introduce her. So right now she's on phone because we had some technical difficulties. So Debbie, please say hi to everybody.
Thank you for inviting me, and hello out there. I hope I can give some good information for you folks. It is.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. I mean, just as a resource. So we're tickled pink, truthfully, to have you tickled white, tickled blue, tickled purple. A little play on cancer awareness colors. So we're delighted to have you here. And, I'm really excited for people to hear about the work you did, but also, the journey that, hearing a little bit about your journey, because I don't think that's something that I've even ever heard. So, can you tell us a little bit how you were diagnosed? How did you find out you had lung cancer?
Sure. I had repeated lung infection. I go on antibiotics and put it down and keep it down, and then it would raise itself up. So in 1998, I went to my doctor, then with another lung infection, but this time it was blood. Mm-hmm. And the antibiotics did not make me feel better. So I went to the doctors, and he decided, rather than putting me on another antibiotic, mm-hmm. He told me to wait there. He told me that they had found a nodule. I said, what does that mean? He said, I don't know. You'll have to. So the further testing was in a CT scan a week later. And then biopsy was done like 3 or 4 days after that. My pulmonologist here in Maine, why would I want to go that far when I have, medical right here? And I can just send my paperwork down and you can take a look at it and decide if somebody that he can help. You have to get down and talk to them. So I did, and they wanted to do another bronchoscopy on the median sinus area. My throat, and they took the samples that they needed, and later I was told I had stage 3 lung cancer. It was confirmed that I had stage 3 lung cancer. And then from there, I went back and met with my team down in Boston. They wrote up a protocol that I'd have 3 rounds of chemotherapy, followed by surgery of my right lower lobe, and then 25 rounds of radiation. So the treatment started in June, and it was sometime from there. I had to go every 3 to 6 months. And through that journey, several times they found on my lung and had to do bronchoscopy to find out it was nothing. I can't do any bronchoscopy,
Wow.
but they didn't. Then there was one time that they showed some white around my liver. What does that mean? They said, we don't know. So I had to go back a couple of times before that cleared up. I did it was not changing. It's, these new machines that they have diagnosed with scores.
Yes.
The thing that lights up that ends up not seeing anything. Reading. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Which is definitely, I can imagine, very, very stressful. Going
Scary, yeah.
scary, going to all those appointments and then finding that, and then they say it's nothing, but at least you're getting good care
Follow up.
and good follow-up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I agree. Me too.
I spent a lot of for advice, and I get a second opinion and go down and take the photograph.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A second, third, I mean, whatever it takes for you to feel comfortable where you're at. And I think that, yeah, you hit the nail on the head with a second opinion. I think, most Mainers don't want to travel out of state, but when it comes to, I mean, all cancers, but I know for me, I went to where I felt comfortable, and it took me 3 opinions to do that, because everybody was told me I was going to die, and that just wasn't in my game plan. So I can hear that in you too. There was a certain way you wanted to go about it, but cancer seems to have its own way. And then the things we can control is where we go for treatment, I guess, is what I'm trying to get out there. And I'm thankful that they take good care of you still to this day, Deb.
You found your way.
Yeah, I think we all have that story that we really weren't accepting the standard of care or the norm, and we went places. You at first didn't want to, but then when you got there, it's like, wow, okay, and sometimes nothing against, but people fall through the cracks, and I find when you go to people, I know that I haven't fallen through the cracks yet, and so I think. I don't know if that is up to our being good advocates for ourselves, or, I don't know what that is attributed to, but that can be scary when you do fall through the cracks. So,
You do need to be your own advocate.
Absolutely.
Patients cannot do that for themselves. They need to have somebody
absolutely.
be great on, keep great on the medical industry.
I think that's in all aspects of, cancer, when things are really bad. But I know with my mom, as she gets older, you really have to make sure she has they have quality care teams. And if not, I mean, you're constantly having to be up on them. And so, yeah, I think being your own best advocate, that's a hard thing for people to do.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I think it's, we're trained not to touch the doctor.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
But they may not.
Absolutely.
Yep. And they may not be right. That happened to me on something, and I'm glad I had a second opinion. But I'm not saying that doctors are doctors, but they miss things too.
They're human.
Right.
They're human.
And
they're seeing a person every 5 or 10 minutes all day long.
right. So things get mixed up. Things get timing gets crazy and all of that stuff. So I think that in our stories, all three of us, being an advocate is an amazing, you have to be able to be your own advocate and go with your own gut and always get a second opinion. And you got to continue to take care of, yourself. Now, Deb, so you've been in remission for 24 years?
Yes, it was 24 years last month.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
And how are you feeling now? Like, what are kind of some of the things that, how do you feel?
Okay, for the most part, I'm doing well. However, my quality has deteriorated.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that, my gardening work, I have to do one of the most rotting.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to it or something, and I have to eat.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I was out in the yard yesterday for a few minutes. And I got music.
Mm-hmm.
So for things like that, I'm not as strong as I used to be to be able to get old.
Yeah.
And so I've given that up. I wanted to do traveling, and COVID came around. So what the rest is.
Right. Well, summer is starting to come.
Yes.
So I suggest do some travel little by little. Get out there and enjoy it because it is awesome and peaceful. Even though, it's not easy, but as long as we are protecting ourselves,
Yes.
we can still do things. And that's kind of one of the things I am trying to live for is that I've got a 5-year-old and he was not even 2 when I was diagnosed. And I said, my thing was, God did not put this little man in my life to take his mom away from him. That was my go-to. And, so my thing is I've got a 5-year-old. We can't sit in the house all day. So
You have to be on the go.
we have to be on the go. And we protect ourselves and we try to enjoy. And even if it's going and sitting at the lake or going to a playground and me sitting down, whatever, that's what we do, So
Right.
try to enjoy it because that's what we deserve that,
I think we have to adapt sometimes to how we feel.
Yeah.
I know I do a lot, Deb, that there's some days that I'm just not out gardening as much. We gave up a lot of our hope gardens in Brewer because of my noggin. And so I understand, having to give things up and finding what you're doing. By the way, I'm taking a train out to Chicago. So I'll let you know how that mode of transport is going because that should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that trip. Are you still going to Chicago for your conference?
Yes, I haven't heard that they've done it virtual. So
That's good. That's good.
this is the American website.
Oh, wow. When is that again?
It's flying out a couple of days early.
Yes, I take the train, leave on the
First week in
7th.
June.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it'll be around the time I'm out there. Interesting.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe we could.
Yes, I have all my appointments are done by the 9th. So I don't know when. Just message me when you're out there and we can connect. That would be fun. 2 Maine gals taking on Chicago.
Well, I've made half my reservations to go to Vienna, Austria, from
Oh.
August
Oh,
for the Worldwide. Paid my hotel room, but I don't see it as a flight. So
if they'll,
it's canceled.
ye, ye, yeah, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm not sure how that yeah, it's interesting when you do things like that. You don't know how things are going to be. We're all hopeful.
Right.
I think we all try to, I do anyway, because I guess I'm tired of COVID, but we have to do what you do to be protecting of yourself and others. So,
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
I agree.
so that's,
Been long. Been a long years now. Over years.
yes, exactly. Well, we had hot toddy last year, but pound the pavement, by the time we get ready to have it would be 3 years since we've had it. So,
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your Free Me of lung cancer. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what gave you the inspiration besides having cancer? Was there something that inspired you to start that?
Well, I started advocating other in a field. It was an organization. And I called them and I got some information and pamphlets, and I was getting them out. So I'm lobbying for them, and I decided, I can raise awareness and raise money because another nonprofit was constant. And I raised about 75,000 over a 3-year period.
Wow.
And all the money left to state research, which wasn't bad, but thinking I can do that for this organization. I can raise the money for me. That's the largest portion of the research. That's on a little bit of money so that we can so well, friends, and we sit down and we did the nonprofit booklet application.
It is
When
that
I say booklet, it's huge. It's
it
many
is.
pages. I think it's 30, 40 pages. And I sent it in, and all of a sudden, all these tiny nonprofits across the United States that only need to file a card because they earn money less than $50,000 was receiving cards from the IRS. Your account is at failure to file. So I was talking about that. Otherwise, it would have been a probably 6-month process that got into over a year. Our designation came due in June. I was excited that I was able to get it.
Oh.
But I already said I file. If there was some information, I don't just, send it back in a new application. They'll work with you
Mm-hmm.
to get completed. Or at least they did me.
Wow.
10 years ago.
We had we had to kind of work with the IRS for different, because we had a certain way we wanted to do funding for people with cancer, but at that time it would have been cash distribution, but we found out that to get around the IRS and all their questions, we said, well, what if we just pay their bills for them? Is that acceptable? And the IRS agreed to that. So, but yeah, there's a dance you have to do with the IRS.
Yeah.
People think it's just one of those easy peasy things, and
Nothing's easy.
no.
It sounds easy, but it's not.
No,
No.
exactly. Wow, I mean, you went from, going through stuff and then raising money. So you've been, I mean, in the nonprofit fundraising world for
Long time.
24 years then, basically.
I have.
That's amazing. I don't know how you keep up with it.
No.
Oh,
69 and stuff.
you wouldn't know it, people. You would not know that this woman is 69 years old. Not at all. you have a tremendous spirit, and whatever, I mean, my noggin, we kind of had to rein back PIF a little bit, just and we've taken on a lot more other people to do things. But if you ever need help, Deb, just let me know. And I mean, I'd love to learn from you and your advocating. I think, and what you guys don't know is this woman is a fierce, I said it before, but, and when I mean fierce advocate, you're doing something with the Department of Defense, right? Right
Yes,
now?
I am. I was going to mention that. We're a whole group of lung cancer organizations, and including the American Cancer Society, that signed on to letters out to increase our funding from the Department of Defense Congressional Directed Research Program, 20 million.
That's
We were
fabulous.
awarded, and this was part of the I know, work through the that historically we've never received other than on the actual 20 million bodies.
Hmm.
You know, it just wasn't consistent with us, and all the while, other camps were increasing in funding. And as you know, I've talked to you about, you know, statistics. That leads funding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're making really great strides. Like we're like get more funding. We push whatever we got out, but if we don't get that, it's not here.
Yes, agreed. Well, I think what you're doing is
Amazing.
amazing. And like I said, I've always wanted to get in advocating, but I know you said that it's tiring. And but you know, at some point, I think, I mean, I do what I can, where I can. But you're always out there, and just know it's always appreciated what you do.
Oh, I can imagine. It's a lot of work. Sounds like Chris.
Yeah, so I'm learning to back out of that.
Mhm. We just got a question that came in, Debbie. What have you learned and about learning how to handle stress?
Good question. Thanks, Nat.
I wish I had. I try filter pick a book up and start reading it. I haven't found the right one that actually gets through stress,
Yeah.
but those are some of the things I do. I also try I don't try to think about, oh, what's going to happen tomorrow. I have to, that so much unnecessary stress just because like, I think we worry more about what can happen.
Absolutely. I would agree 100%.
Me as well.
Yeah. I think that we tend to focus on, and if something does happen, we focus on that, and then more things start to happen.
It snowballs.
Yeah.
It's a snowball.
Yeah.
So that's right. So I'm glad that you said that, because I'm actually going to put this on my replay, and I'm hoping that a few people in my life read that. and hear it from somebody else other than me. Sometimes when it comes from the one that people are asking help for, they don't hear it. But if they hear it from someone else, they're like, oh my gosh, somebody just said them. And you're like, yeah.
Well, there's three of us sitting here that think the same thing. So that's like a three-fer. We went 3 for 3. There's no like, that's 100% that we're all agreeing that's trying to stay present. But how do you do that? So I think for everybody, it looks different. Just like you said, sometimes it's a book or a walk. Breathing, like I focus on my breathing a lot. Because that's the only thing I can focus on sometimes, if I can't get out for a walk. So I think it's just being centered. I love that, Deb. That's great. And then the fact that we're all three sitting here agreeing that's pretty dynamic.
Yeah.
I read somewhere whatever that was.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in that group. That's absolutely true. I think that's why we do this. And there's some times when we repeat some messages, but sometimes messages are worth repeating. So stay in the moment, folks. Stay in the moment. That's from all three of us late stage cancer survivors. Do what you can to stay in the moment. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I do. So Deb, I'm assuming you probably have a website that people.
I do.
Yeah.
www.freemefromlungcancer.org.
Okay. Maybe another thing too is to maybe send Chris a private message on that so that we can connect that link to this podcast.
Yeah, we'll connect it with the podcast and we'll put it on our website as well, Deb, as a resource. I think it's already on there, but we'll be sure to feature you as well.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I can send that, and I can send the Facebook page because we're hoping to get a letter from Senator Reid, a dear colleague, letter from Senator, and I'd like to direct people to go to my Facebook page when that comes up and click on it. Once you click on it, go to the letter, and their congressional leaders will be listed, right? So you don't have to click. Just scroll down, sign it, and hit click to your congressman.
Oh, great. Well, we'll be happy to share that for you and put out the word. And so that's
just put it up.
Oh, thank you, Nat.
Thanks, Nat.
We appreciate you. So you talked a little bit about 5K that you have coming up in October, correct?
Yes, I have a Save Your Breath 5K. It's along the rail trail.
Oh,
I got to follow in that.
fabulous.
And there's a walk. We also do virtual walk or run.
Great.
For it. Because, I'm aware that, COVID is still very alive in our community. In fact, I think the other day we were with one of the states with the highest.
Yeah, again.
Right now.
Yeah.
I read that too.
Yeah.
By now, what will it be in the fall? So.
Yeah, I think we'll be adding a virtual part to ours. Just you have to be just really aware of that and safe and plan for the what ifs. So, but I'm excited. It's the week after ours, so that means I'm clear and free. So, if this year I'm hopeful to get down there. I know that last year I was supposed to, but I was probably not feeling well, which is usually the case after Pound the Pavement in November, because pancreatic cancer, sorry dear, is awareness month is November as well as lung cancer awareness month. So I know that's something you gear up for as well.
Right.
Well, I'm just very thankful that you were able to come on and guest speak with us today. It's so important to hear people's stories.
It is. We appreciate you sharing your story and all
I'm glad I was able to take on it. Much for allowing me to moment. And the guest that's listening today, you can reach me at area code 215-9035 if you have questions. And also go to our website at www.org. You can click
Great, great.
Wonderful.
Well, I look forward to people reaching out to you. I know you're a great resource, Deb, and an inspiration. And
thank you.
I know I'm delighted.
I am
We're
too. This is,
delighted to have you as our first guest. And
Thank you.
you know, I think it's about spreading people's stories, but you know, I think we all do things in certain ways to help others once we're impacted or going through cancer. So again, I want to thank you for all you do, and we will get everything up on the website, and that's already posted some links. So we'll spread the word for you.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
well, we thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Debbie.
we thank you so much, and best of luck to you. And hopefully someday you and I can connect. I would love to meet you. And I go to Boston as well every 3 to 5 months. You know, still, and I go back down in less than 2 weeks. But yeah, so Howard,
I would enjoy meeting you.
yeah,
We should come down,
sometime in summer I can ride up.
or we can take a ride down sometime
yeah, we can figure something out.
to
Absolutely.
your way. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I either might have a 5-year-old with me or I may not.
That's okay. Anthony's a fun little guy.
It depends. My husband works a lot. So, but we'll see. But we'll definitely try to plan something, even if we try to do this race together or something.
Oh
like
yeah, that would be great. That would be a great time.
I think
yeah,
that would be
cool. That would be cool. So you've already got 2, possibly more people coming down for your race. So
we'll definitely figure it out. And I actually am going to send a few people your way, Deb, that have been recently diagnosed with lung cancer.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to connect them to you as well. So,
perfect.
because we have a lot of people, Krista's get a lot of people that reaches out to her, and I get a lot of contacts. You know, people are always asking me questions and,
Yes.
Ways to do things and, all of that. So it's so nice to be able to open up our box a little bit, because you know what? We need help. We all do.
We all have our own like niches. Like each cancer is different. And I think when you can talk to somebody that's been through especially the same type of cancer, it's so important to connect, and everybody can share their story, and you draw inspiration from that.
Yeah, it's very important.
Right.
People need to know.
Mainly the reason why you don't cure lung cancer like you do other cancers is ignorance.
Yeah.
And people don't want to know.
Nope.
A lot of people that go through treatment, where you've seen it, on your types of cancers, that they just shut.
Yep.
Go through the treatment.
Yes, all the time. And for me, I tell people this is real, and because so most people I talk with, they're like, yeah, I'm going to keep working and all that, and I respect people keeping working. I do, but I know with pancreatic cancer, there was no way I could have worked. Like if you're late stage, how are you going to work? And I know people have to go about that, and that's a hard road to go through. And I think when you've had other people that are like, oh, you didn't work? And I'm like, no, my doctor actually wouldn't allow me to work. And she wrote me a note the first day, and I was like, okay. And I think there's just so many things we can get from the camaraderie of just knowing the security of knowing people.
And it's hard to accept. There's so many things that are so hard to accept,
Agreed.
And I think that it's important to have a good network of people. Hello, Mary. We have a friend Mary on.
Hi, Mary.
And Jessica came on too a little bit late.
Oh, hey, Jess.
Jessica's also a colon cancer survivor.
She is.
And she's a rock star. She's a rock star. But I think that we all need to stick together, and it's always good to ask questions, no matter what cancer you have. We all have our own journeys, and we all deal with things in a different way.
Absolutely.
But it is so important to be able to stick together, because as we both all know, is that just because we're in remission doesn't mean we still don't have questions. We still don't have
Concern,
feelings. We don't
yes.
have concerns. We still have all those things. It doesn't go away.
Exactly.
You know, I think that's huge. And some people are like, you know, people will say, you know, you've been cancer free for 3 years. You're good. Just move on. It's not easy to just move on. You can't from that. You've got to,
It's a process.
it's a process, right?
It's definitely a process.
And like my little boy who's 5, he still to this day has no idea. Someday he'll hear his mom's story from me. And I will be his superwoman when he hears it. But he never knew. I mean, I never have told him, you know?
He's been being a kid.
Yeah. And I've enjoyed it. So that's what you do, right?
Right.
You live in the moment.
I think that's a great message. That's a great message to leave off with today,
Live
living in the
present.
moment. Yep.
Yeah, because the future's not here.
That's right.
Yes, exactly. So all you have is, that's why they call today a gift.
That's right. Today's a gift. So, well, that's amazing.
It's
think
been a great show. Thank
Yes.
you, Deb, so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much.
And if you ever know anybody, Deb, that they want to talk and they want to tell their story, please send them to me and Chris.
Oh,
Because
we'd love that. Please. You know, it's,
Absolutely.
I think it's easy when you get people that have been down the same path to just chat. This was a very easy flowing conversation. And, but it also lifts off you that when you tell your story, it just keeps getting lighter on you, I think. And you had a great story and purpose for what you've been doing. And again, thank you for sharing that.
thank you so much. Have a wonderful
All right.
day.
Yes.
You too.
And we'll
Bye.
bye. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mary. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you guys next month on Maine Cancer Crusader Chips.
Yes.
All
Thank you
right.
guys for joining. Hey, live for today, guys.
That's right.
And
That's
have
all
a
you got.
wonderful day. The
All
sun is coming.
I know, it's beautiful out. Can you see we're excited?
Yeah.
Take care, all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.